Hey everybody, I'm just getting things started in a bit of a hurry tonight. Getting things started up, so I will be with you in just a second. There's our music. And now it's gone. Okay, technical difficulties. Okay, I think we're good. All right, I'm gonna finish setting up a couple things and I will be right with everybody. Hope you're having a good night so far. All right. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you guys. Sorry about that. Took a bit to get settled in there. Minor technical difficulties, but here I am. So happy Thursday, everybody. I hope the week has been treating you well so far. It's been one. It's been one. I think we're still fighting a little bit with some family health issues, but a couple setbacks this week, but we're doing okay. We're here. We're having a good time overall. Can't complain. So I know I've been taking this time at the beginning of stream every week to talk a little bit about some of the KidLit works that are influential to me and influential to Ashley, what we like to read, what our kids like to read, and this week is no exception. So I've got one. It's one that I feel like I hadn't heard talked about a lot, but once I started reading it, it's so good. It's a really major title out there, actually. The Hilo series by Judd Winick. This is actually the first book in this series. There are, I believe, 9 out right now. Judd Winick actually just released the cover for the 10th book, titled Rise of the Cat. And that'll be coming out in February next year. So obviously our house is very excited for it. It's a fun story. It's lighthearted. It's got sci-fi, fantasy, a little bit of whatever you might want with a light touch. The art, as you can see, is super bright and fun, with lots of yelling ah in it. It's just, it is a beloved series in our household. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good lighthearted read. Not that the story doesn't have some of its serious moments as well. It was actually super cool. Judd Winick did a presentation on the OutSchool service, which is like an online instruction platform for kids. So he did like a Q&A with the kids, and like our daughter colored in a shirt to look just like the main character's shirt, and got to they got to ask him a question, and super cool. He's really good with kids, so it was awesome to see that too. So Hilo, check it out. It's good times. I think we're ready to do warm up, so let's do that. All right, I've got my cards here, which I'm definitely not peeking at. So gonna pick out this one. Who is it? We got Hippopotas. Hippopotas? Not really sure if I'm saying that right. Anybody got any notes for me on that one? So what we're gonna do. Bring up our handy dandy reference photo. Switch on over to our art window. Here we go. Say hello to Clip Studio Paint, everybody. And let me grab that reference image for you real quick. Again, if you are an artist, if you're not an artist, I encourage you to just take this 5 minutes. Hippopotas. I encourage you to take a moment and just draw along, just for fun. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't have to show it to anybody. If it comes out looking horrible, no one has to know. If it comes out looking great, you can run around showing it to all of your friends and family. You may be on the verge of a career as a famous Hippopotas artist. All right. Label that layer so I don't confuse myself. That's where enter is. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Do we have paper? Do we have pencils? As usual, we're going to go for 5 minutes here. You don't have to finish it. You can finish it if you are just simply that fast. You could be faster than me. I'm sometimes very slow, but the point of the warm-up really isn't speed or completing finished works. We're just here to get warmed up, get our art brain thinking, looking at the shapes of things. You can draw it just as it is in the reference photo, or, if you want to kind of work that brain a little more, get it going, you can, move the pose a little bit, think about how those shapes fit together in different ways. But mainly it's to get your art brain woken up thinking, get those drawing muscles loose. Maybe loosen up that wrist a little bit, and have fun, because what's the point if you're not having fun? So with that, here we go. 5 minutes, and we start. And so I've been doing the super large brush size to prevent myself from being tempted to do too much detail. I have seen people do a sketch layer with like a really thin brush, something like that, where you're just you're getting super sketchy with it, right? And then you just darken the lines as you like them better. That works too. Kind of just see what works for you. For me, I'm gonna go with the quite oversized brush, just because I will attempt to draw in the detail if I don't stop myself. So maybe I'll do like a spot art of this guy in the environment. I believe the lore. Ooh, bless you. I believe the lore on this Pokemon is that it is like a hippo, but it lives in the desert sand. So maybe we're just gonna draw him having a little snoozy here, halfway in the sand. If you've seen our Etsy shop or watched some of the previous streams, I apparently really like drawing sleeping Pokemon. They're cute. It's good times. Definitely getting some Yoshi vibes from this eye shape. So it's kind of like that. They're gonna come up a little bit and narrow. Get kind of a smaller circle in there. The snout actually comes down pretty noticeably, and a little bit before the eyes protrude up. It's not really a concavity. For growing up in the Midwest, you'd think I'd have a bit more of an accent. Maybe give it a little bit of a 3D feel here. I'm just gonna, you know what? Maybe I'll move this line down a little bit. Again, this is one of the nice things about working digitally, is I can just move my stuff around in the sketch phase especially. And it's easier to do. I don't have to, cut up a piece of paper, tape it back down. I don't know if anybody, I'm sure artists do that way too with traditional media, but not doing it here. I'm gonna give him kind of like a little very satisfied smile. Close those eyes there. Something is, okay, this body is probably a little bit long. It's much shorter and cute in this sketch. So, here we go. How are we doing on time, everybody? About 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go if you are drawing along with. Just a cute little tail. Draw the other nostril there. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to move on to my pencils layer. So again, we're going to move to a smaller brush size just to be able to get in there and do a little more detail. I'm still not interested in getting super detailed. This is how I like to do to think spatially, especially when I'm doing a full scene with some composition, what have you. It's nice to kind of get to work out my thought process a little bit over time on the page instead of trying to do it all at once. His mouth is not going to be open because then he'd be swallowing lots of sand, unless maybe he likes that. But you know, some people like to just draw it all in one shot and not worry about sketching out a composition, and that's fine too. And it's not entirely the point of what we're doing here. But some people rarely use a sketch layer, do a warm-up. They just like to jump right in. And that's kind of what's cool about art, is a lot of it is what works for you. Even though there's lots of practices that kind of consolidate over time in artists that tend to be very helpful. If it works for you, if it produces things that resonate with you and with others, then you're doing it right for you. It's a little more squared off bum there. Try that. Maybe take a little hook to it. All right, there we go. That's 5 minutes for our sketch. Okay. It might be about the farthest I've gotten on one of these drills for warming up. Can't complain. All right, pretty happy with that one. And now we move on to the main event here tonight. So yeah, the goal is to finish this guy. I think we can do it. It's 10:12. And we've done most of the spatial thinking here with my pencils layer. They're pretty tight pencils, so there's not a whole lot of additional detail to add in. So I think doing lines, lines should be very easy to accomplish here tonight in an hour. But I'm going to push myself and see if I can get through colors, and if I can get shading in, then that would be awesome. So here we go. Stream doesn't end until I finish. Let's do this. So we're going to go background here. If you haven't heard my whole spiel before, I'm working in Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint is an art program. It gives you a lot of the features of a Photoshop, but also some of the features of like an Illustrator. That is, it does a lot of really good vector stuff for manga, comics, stuff like that. It is a very handy tool, very powerful. Some of the tools can take some time to learn, but overall, I've found it to be pretty intuitive. Yep. Gonna fight that straight line battle here, so we're just gonna do it this way. Yeah, this is how we're doing it, huh? Apparently I didn't warm up quite enough, because I'm just fighting myself on this line. Alright, that's fine. Eraser, what are you doing? So this is a vector line, a vector layer, which means every line I draw is not going to be composed of pixels in the picture painted in directly. It's going to be composed of paths. So you've got vertices, these little points along here, and then Clip Studio is drawing the paths between them. So I can really freely adjust my lines, which is really nice when you can't draw a straight line to save your life. Thankfully, I'm not in that situation entirely tonight. I am a little bit perplexed here as to why my erase tool isn't working the way that I want to. Yeah. It should be erasing only up to the intersection of the lines, but for some reason it's being real finicky tonight. Which is kind of surprising. Okay. Well, don't love that right now, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time figuring it out at the moment, because when I do flats, that'll all be kind of hidden anyway. So draw dad in the background here. Yeah, we can do a little better than that. Okay. Get the sink in there. There we go with the line, the cabinets. Okay, this should do it though. This is all on the same, okay. Perfectly happy if it's on the same layer. Oopsie daisy. Now I know some of you are thinking, Jeff, why are you even messing around with worrying about your straight lines? Like, isn't that what the line tool is for? And yes, you're absolutely right. But I know I've mentioned this in previous streams, but I think it's worth repeating. There's a certain amount of life that kind of comes with a hand-drawn line. It's not perfect, but it feels very authentic. It feels very, you know, a person drew this. Because Jeff drew this because it's not quite right from a reality perspective. And there's some styles where, okay, yeah, you should probably be using the line tool and drawing everything as precisely as you can. But for other things, especially this, I've really kind of, oh my goodness, Jeff, come on. I've really come to like this style where things are a little bit looser, a little more lively and natural. So I think it works together pretty well. trying to remember there was something kind of hilarious that the kids said this week that, you know, along the lines of what was in the comic here. And I was like, oh, that would be good to mention in stream. But I totally forgot. It's, you know, parent brain is very real. And for me, working on these kind of like these slice of life type of comics, I find it very, very therapeutic, very comforting. This is something that I've just kind of always done since I was, I don't know, if I would say, oh my gosh, oh, that is what I wanted to show you this week. Hold on. So my parents, who, by the way, thank you, Mom and Dad, for watching the stream. I appreciate you and your support. Mentioning, as I'd mentioned in a previous stream, how I have been drawing these since I was, you know, elementary school, like 4th, 5th grade probably. They went digging, and boy, did they find a good archive from that past, I guess, artistic expression. Is that what I want to say? So let me just... Here, I'm gonna add this to the OBS window here just a second. Not sure if you can all see this. Maybe move it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. there we go. Yeah, so this was me probably circa 4th grade or so. 5th grade maybe. And some of my friends from that time. There's me. I believe I mentioned the very spiky hair that for some reason I felt the need to draw myself with. My hair was not like this. There's that, and then another friend, very, very 90s kid hair on us all. And also what I love is that I drew all the stuff that I shoved under my bed, even back then, which I find kind of hilarious now. But yeah, so that's, when I say I've been doing this for a long time, I've been doing this for a long time. And it's fun. The humor is kind of, I mean, I think anybody who knows me knows that humor is very much my coping mechanism. And how I get perspective on the world around me and the lens through which I view it. So coming in and doing comics like this, just it's relaxing. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile. It helps me reframe those things that sometimes frustrate me in a new way. You know what? I just realized I never switched back to my art window. So hey, let's go back to art. There we go. All right. Listen, chat, I hope you're having a good time out there. I'm having a good time with it. I'm a little bit loopy tonight. It's been a busy day. But a good day. All right, let's go ahead and get our word balloon layer in here. Let's see, did I actually manage to name it the same thing twice? Yeah, speech bubble, word balloon. I call it different things. It's called different things by different artists at different times. And in my case, it's called different things by me at different times. So tonight, this is a word bubble. Last week, it was a speech balloon. No, a speech bubble. It's a word balloon now. That is too big. Better. So anybody out there, if you're in chat tonight, if you're watching this on YouTube later, what's your comfort activity? What do you do to just kind of unwind, deal with a stressful day? Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to hear how other people do stuff, like handle things like it, because we all have our outlets. And I'm of the opinion actually that everybody is actually pretty creative, just depending on what the venue is. You can't view them through your lens, right? You gotta take them on their own terms. Okay. You're gonna be my reference layer. I'm gonna turn you off. I'm gonna turn you off. I'm gonna turn you off. I'm gonna turn you off so that my fill tool doesn't go crazy. It might still go crazy. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Good. I'm just gonna try this once again because nope. Clip Studio, what are you doing tonight? Alright. Moving on. Panel 3, here we go. 1026. We got this. Thank you. Thank you. Before midnight. Oh yeah, we are not streaming until midnight tonight. Why did I select Thursday nights for stream night when I have 9 o'clock or 9:30 meetings on Fridays? Who knows? But it works most of the time. It's good. All right. Just setting up my folders here. I do like to split out my background and foreground. I'm sure I've said this like 100 times. You're like, Jeff, yeah, of course we know. We get it. Well, I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's really important for me. Okay. Here we go. Foreground. Turn down our opacity a little bit. I can turn off the sketch layer though. That's nice. Okay. Back to our pencil tool. Are we doing 8? We're doing 8. Sad dad face. And this time I'm curious to see, wow, I'm not keeping my background and foreground colors straight tonight. I'm apparently more frazzled than I thought. See if I do it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably won't, but I cannot stop myself most of the time, if I'm not paying attention to it, from drawing the face that my characters are making. Making the face that I shouldn't stop myself from drawing the face that my characters are making, but making it with my own face, which isn't bad, unless you're drawing in a public place. And then you can get some pretty odd looks, just saying, from personal experience, depending on the kind of facial expressions you're drawing. Yep. There we go. Okay. So I do want the sink to be in the foreground here. Faucet and sink area. So do not save that for background layer. Hey, Stina! Man, I was not even paying attention to chat for a bit there. It was so quiet. Good to see you tonight. Netflix shows? Yep. Yep, the binge watching is real. Although, man, our kids have been getting to bed so late. Like, our binge watching can't start until like 10 o'clock, 10:30. So it kind of limits how much we can effectively do. It helps that our good neighbor, Mickey, just last night started his fireworks show a little bit earlier now. We're into the school has started in our county. So Magic Kingdom fireworks are now at 9 o'clock, which is helpful. Yeah. So Stina, how's your week been? Which is definitely not me distracting everyone from how poorly I'm drawing this line right now. Yeah. It's I don't know. It was hard getting the kids ready for starting back up this year. We've been going for like 3 weeks now just to make leeway for some travel later this year and all that. I think we told you about all that. But are you excited? You are our kiddos excited as well? Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. That's good. That's good. It seemed like, for what you said before, everyone's pretty happy with that setup. Same here. It's been so nice. Okay, that's the bigger thing. Brush size there for the glasses. Okay. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Just Ashley heading off to get an eye on the kids. Mostly asleep. You know how it goes. Okay, so that's all good. Then we'll put the rest of this in background. Yep. Oh, goodness. Well, now it's good. What changed, man? It's all good. I can bring this one up to our Clip Studio Cafe group tomorrow. That would be good. If any of you are watching are in, well, are artists who use Clip Studio Paint or want to use Clip Studio Paint or are involved with the Kids Comics Unite group, the Clip Studio Cafe group is I believe starting to meet now every Friday instead of every other one. It's a really good group. Definitely recommend it. We have a good time and we learn along the way. Let's see. Yeah, I'll bring this guy down from here. So, so Stina, after seeing how much I like sit here and draw a line and then undo and then draw another line and then keep trying over, do you feel now like perhaps you could illustrate some of your own stuff too? Telling you, everybody's an artist. By the way, for anybody who's in the chat and doesn't know, Stina is an excellent writer. She's part of one of our critique groups. She's got a book coming out. Is that next year, Stina? I'm trying to remember or do you guys have a date yet? Yeah, 2024. So next year. So is it Lupita's? Oh, October 15th. You have an official date. That's awesome. Okay. I'm excited. So October 15th, 2024. And what was the official title you guys ended on? It was Lupita's Brown Ballet Slippers. Okay. Yes. Picture book. Rose, hey! Oh my gosh, this is great, you guys. So excited to see y'all. And Rose is an incredible illustrator, by the way, and also an incredible writer. And she actually has a book. She illustrated a book that is out there on Amazon right now. It is where we got it right here. Hold on, I'm gonna go full screen so we can actually take a look at this. There we are. So yeah, it's right here. Ponder Tales, which is the description here on the back. It's a collection of stories intended to spark conversations between adult readers and their children about the real feelings we face growing up. Now, Rose, I love your work on this. By the way, I'm just sharing this with everybody because I feel like people should see this. Your art and your writing too. Holy moly! I know we really got into your stories. So, no problem. I'm just excited you're here, and like I just want to share your guys' work with everybody. It's not a huge audience, granted, but I think. Happy to share my awesome critique group's work. So yeah. By the way, guys, I know my stream title is like stream doesn't end until I finish this. I don't, you're welcome to hang out with me the whole time, but I'm not expecting it. I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't leave. Come on. Yep, let's do this. Get a little insight here. Oh, thanks, Rose. I always feel like these are so just like these aren't anything, right? Like I don't know. It's just my style, and I guess I got so used to it that I didn't it's okay. I feel like there's other pieces that I've done that I'm way prouder of than just like my little comic style. Yeah, thank you. How's your week been going, Rose? Getting some work done, yeah. And for me, it's been pretty good. It's still fighting a little bit of health battles. We kind of told you guys about all that, but we're okay. We're good. It's been a pretty good week. Just busy. Lots of different stuff going on. Yeah. It's like, you need kind of the ebb and flow, or sometimes you got a little downtime, but overall keeping things moving. Yeah. Actually, just a little bit before this was on a webinar for it's this really cool group called the Superhero Project, or a lot of their social media stuff is like the Superhero Kid. And they do it's like they reach out, or they work with various artists, and the artists do like a superhero poster for kids who have like chronic or even sometimes terminal health conditions, and they have just tons of amazing artists that have done work for them. But they had a master class with a couple of really well-known comic artists tonight, and that was super fun to watch. It was Jerry and Penelope Gaylord, I think. They're definitely on Instagram if you want to check them out. They're incredible. They actually did, if you read some of the DC Comics KidLit stuff, Jerry did the art for, not this one, but the one that's in the back, for Clark and Lex. So this one. Hold on. Just me switching up my windows. Clark, there we go. Still getting used. I put the chat inset in there. So you guys are famous. I mean, you guys are already famous. But anyway, yeah, so it was cool. And then Penelope also did Diana and the Hero's Journey. So it's like a young Wonder Woman graphic novel for kids. Which there's some really good ones out there of that too. Of like Victoria Ying and Shannon Hale did Diana, Princess of the Amazons. That's another good one. Yeah. Did you read the new one, Stina? The Diana and Nubia? It's like the sequel. Okay, yeah. Well, I won't say too much, but I would say it definitely stands up to the bar set by the first one. Hello? Okay, there we go. But anyway, yeah, we did that. Then we took the kids to the playground, and then it was like trying to get the bedtime ritual going, and I came like diving into stream, half set up. It was good times. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I actually find it kind of relaxing. I mean, I don't think I present myself as a master artist at all, so like I'm okay if people see the mistakes that I tend to make while I'm drawing. That's fun. I just, it kind of goes back to that whole comfort element and drawing when I was a kid. Like I'd have my friends over for like a sleepover or something, and like we'd spend part of the night where we'd just be like, making a comic. I'd draw it and everyone would just be like, oh, we should say this. This is so funny. Yeah, it's good times. So I find it very relaxing. I love having you guys here with me. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's like my comfort thing, drawing these little comics. Like I'm excited that with the books that Ashley and I are working on, like I'm doing a little bit more storytelling, and trying some things that are more ambitious, but because I always kind of wanted to do that, but I didn't always have the stories to do it, at least not initially. I don't know, is it like this for you guys where, and maybe you overcame this like decades ago, like I start thinking of a story, I'm like, no, that's too cliche, that's too lame, and I like don't even write it down. I'm like, okay, it's not that good. And then I never really develop anything. I'm only starting to realize that like you have to give your stories the time to work on, and you can't expect them to be good right out of the box. Oh, no worries, Rose. Thanks for stopping in. That's awesome. I'm so glad you were here. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good night, Rose. Bye. Yeah, it's funny that I did that with my stories, because like that's what I always say about art to people. It's like nobody's great when you start. The point is just to start and like be patient with yourself and give it time. And if you really like a piece, you know, come back to it or redraw it later after you've learned something new. But like, don't judge yourself based on a single piece of work. And yet that's exactly what I was doing. So I've started trying to learn that advice for stories. So I've got a few ideas that I'm working on that probably Ashley and I will start working on together at some point. Ooh, that hand is not right. Okay. So there's the palm. This is where the fingers would come out. Okay, this is probably more human hand looking. So Stina, I wanted to ask you, I know you've been pretty active on Instagram lately. Have you tried Blue Sky at all? There we go. I mean, my arm's still not quite that thick. Maybe. Yeah, it's a new one. A lot of people are saying that, I think Brigida said a little bit about it at the last Pono meeting, but like, it's a lot like Twitter, maybe like years ago when it, I think it's, they don't have like the algorithm. They also don't have hashtags. We're still learning it. It's right now by invitation only. If you want to check it out, people who are on get like an invite a week. So if you want to check it out, let us know. We'd be happy to share an invite with you. But yeah, I definitely tried doing like the go live notification on Instagram tonight instead of on X. Yeah. I don't know if it makes much of a difference because it's not like we had a huge audience on either one because we don't really do a lot on there. But we're trying to grow. It's that whole introvert battle of trying to get yourself out there, right? Yeah, we do. So we never tried Threads for this. Like because I was like, well, it's connected to your Instagram, so I just made one of like my own. But since I never really posted much on Twitter myself anyway, I haven't interacted with it in a real meaningful fashion. Like, what do you think of it? No, not quite. Okay, so it sounds like it's pretty full capabilitied, reasonable facsimile. Have we all agreed just to like keep calling it Twitter? Because admittedly, like, I trip a bit trying to call it X. Yeah. And it's like, well, if it's not Twitter, is it still tweets that you're doing? Like, a friend of mine called them, like, Zeets, like Xeets, which I kind of like, honestly. But still, it's like, yeah, it's so strange. You know, the platform has just been around under one name for so long. It's a challenge. How did I do that there? Okay. Nope. Okay. How do I want to do that? I'm trying not to get too hung up on the background because, like, it doesn't have to be hyper realistic, but I realize technically, like, the vent hood is not quite right. But I guess at some point, you know, for a personal webcomic that I'm drawing for fun, it's not worth fretting about a whole lot. I don't know. I go back and forth. Oh goodness, we're at 10:53 already. I can do this. Lines are almost done. Colors will go faster. That'll work. Gap here. Yep. Yeah, let's erase this guy. Most of that'll be covered by the text bubble, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Just trying to get some continuity for what will be kind of sticking out. Should be almost none of this. I think I said it before, but like I used to be guilty of like drawing way too much detail behind things that were never gonna appear. Like you know, color the wall behind all this stuff, and then I would color the cabinets behind the vent hood, and then completely fill the kitchen scene so I could just totally toggle off the dad layer here, and it would be a fully painted background. It's just a lot of time for stuff that it doesn't really do much, unless, of course, you're going to animate it. In which case, then it's helpful. Or if you're going to mess around with your composition, I guess would be the other first most useful purpose for doing something like that. Speaking of, Stina. Oh yeah. So for my like slice of life family type comics, I have a go-to palette that I already set up a while ago that I use. So not this one. It's really simple. Just kind of signature colors for each character. We always wear the same color shirt, hair colors, skin tones, you know, inside the mouth, tongue color, basic stuff like that. It's kind of just a subset of the palette, the bigger palette that I'd worked out for our Carly book. But I just, set up the family colors one here so I can just pick it really quickly. Which is handy. Any decisions I can make in advance are good. So Stina, did you see the animation that I was working on? Oh, the text bubble. Okay, I'm gonna show it off a little because I'm super proud. So Clip Studio Paint, I was gonna do this for like a stream ending animation, just for fun, because I'm slowly building out the stream, because I like to do stuff like that. So I took this piece I'd done, it was actually for an SCBW I Draw This. And yeah, this is one where I'd actually gone through and like everything was on different layers. And everything was complete behind it. So I've been kind of going in and animating it bit by bit. Although not like hand drawing each frame, but rather by just kind of using keyframes to transform, like move everything around. So it's gonna be a little wonky while it's loading the animation, or not. It's good, yeah. But yeah, it's just kind of this little thing. This was for like a few years ago. The prompt was like, one of the monthly prompts was Moving Day. Oh, the music's kind of appropriate for it. So yeah, it was kind of fun, just able to do that little bit. Anyway, I'm very proud. It's not perfect. I'm not a trained animator. Oh, thank you. Mirati? Am I saying that right? Yep, back to this guy. Cool. Well, hey, welcome on in, by the way. And thank you very much. All right. Let's see if we can keep pushing through on this guy. Let me get my word bubble in. Turn my pencils back on just for a quick reference. I like to have the reference there and kind of plan out where it's going to be, just so I don't like kind of ram everything too close into the panel borders. Cleared out. Oh. Nice. Okay. Well, hey, this is so awesome. Oh my gosh, like we've had Rose was here for a little bit, so it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, and Game Chops. Oh my gosh, The music has been awesome, and it turns out it's stream safe, which is really helpful. So how's your week been going? Just a quick fill here. Don't let any of my other layers interfere. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're not closed there. Maybe I can get away with this guy. It's a little finicky, but usually it does a good job. Yeah. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. I'm just gonna do this the slow way. Nope. What is not closed here? Oh, duh. So, Mirati, I apologize if this is painful to watch. I know you are very familiar with Clip Studio. I'm on a Surface Studio laptop, so kind of a tablet, kind of a desktop. It's a nice hybrid. I like being able to switch between the two. There we go. Let's move this guy down a little bit. Better centered. Okay. All right. On to colors. So I know when I put flat colors here, it's a bit misleading for a lot of people who do comics, because it's not flats in the sense of like just filling in the blocks of color, any color to make it easier to fill later. I figure since I'm already filling it in, I fill it in the flat color that it's going to be. But I know that term is not always used that way. Make sure I got my reference layer right here for filling. A preference for like tablet or desktop? I definitely have been, if it's a, it might be, you know, I never, I have to admit, I've never played Undertale. It kind of came at a time where I just didn't have a lot of time for gaming, and I was like vaguely aware of it, and I'd like watch the GDQ runs and stuff, but I never got super familiar with it. Yeah, I will say for tablet versus desktop, I used to draw just on an iPad. Granted, I wasn't using Clip Studio back then. I was using like Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, which was pretty solid. Although at the time, like it was an iPad 3 or something, so it had a lot of memory limitations. I could only do like 3 layers at a time. So I couldn't keep things separated out nicely. I had to constantly merge my layers, and it was a little bit painful. Yeah, so the Surface has been a really good upgrade. There's some operations where I really like having, you know, full laptop, keyboard, and all that. And I tried doing cases for the iPad that did it. It was never really satisfying. So this has been a really good balance, for me at least. And I was able to get it with like a graphics card in it, so it has a little more power, which is good for the resolutions we work at. So yeah, I if I had to get a new art computer tomorrow, I would stick with this. It's been really solid. Because also it's portable. I can work on the sofa and I can just come here. I have like a little hold on a second. I'm gonna try to show you the setup. It's a little bit it's not like a perfectly sleek setup for art, but I really like it. I'm gonna go to just chatting for a second here. Like this is literally, I'm gonna grab my webcam. Like it's just right. Okay, come on, Jeff. Here we go. This is it. It's just folded up to be in like tablet mode, and it's sitting on this little lap desk. That's it. And I think I mentioned it before that that's what I had. And then actually I have my second screen with you guys there, so say hi to yourselves. And got my ring light just right up here above. But yeah, it's not as sleek as like a XP pen or Wacom tablet, but it works for me. Perhaps someday I'll actually go to a Wacom, so that when I'm here at home I can work on that. But for now, this is good. This is good, and it travels with me. And that's super helpful. So, Mirati, like, what do you like to use to close and fill? I know there's some tools out there for it. I haven't found one that works perfectly. And because I intentionally leave a lot of gaps in my art, every time it comes time to fill, I always find myself coming here with like a turn off the anti-aliasing on the pen and just like close in all the gaps manually. Thanks. No, not the fill. Here we go. That's not quite right. Hold on a second. There's always a gap somewhere, right? All right, maybe this guy will work for me now. Closed up a lot in there. Nope. It's being stubborn tonight. Cool. where? There. Maybe there. Or, there we go. I swear I've been drawing this week, and it's like I've totally just blanked on half of my stuff here. So I think I've said before on stream, so if I'm repeating myself, sorry, but one of these days I'll remember to do hotkeys. I just haven't, because a lot of times I'm just working at my desk or at my sofa with this little thing on my lap, so I don't have a keyboard in front of me. So I haven't gotten used to using hotkeys, and I realize sometimes when I'm watching myself, when I'm paying attention to what I'm doing while I'm working, I'm like, oh, this is really slow. Why am I going over here to the tool palette when I could just hotkey to my color picker? But yeah, I just haven't ingrained that yet. No, you're gonna. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because it's not paying attention to the reference lines from the foreground layer. There we go. No. So you've had a lot of work with the fill gap? Because maybe I just haven't messed with it enough to really get it to work for me. Because I have absolutely, I've definitely had bad luck with it before, where I've tried it and it doesn't really do it. Yeah, I've got it on, but like, so like this faucet, right? Like, am I on the right layer here? Okay. All right. You know what? The best way to get something that's not working for you to work is to try to show somebody else that it's not working. That's what we always say in my office. It's very true for programming as well. Or you'll absolutely see the error that you're making the second you show it to somebody else. Color in these guys. Clip Studio, you doing okay, buddy? Yep, no, it's me. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. And so on and so forth. Upping the tolerance and scaling. Okay, cool. For anyone in chat, or if you're watching on YouTube and not familiar, Mirati is like a Clip Studio ninja. She's incredible. And also has a book coming out. What was the year again on that one? I forget what was in the announcement. not gonna work. I'm just being indecisive about what color to make this backsplash area, as I've painted myself into a bit of a hole. 2027. Okay. 2027. I'm really excited. You guys, like, you and Stina both, like, the book's coming out. This is awesome. It's very inspirational having you guys in the group. Not to mention, I just feel lucky getting to see some of the work before anybody else. It's super awesome. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm gonna have to go to a bigger color pool here. I have painted myself into a corner using all the kind of neutralish colors I want to use are either in the dad character's hair or the kid's shirt. So let's pick something different. You know, some days you wake up and you don't expect you're going to spend 5 minutes deciding what color a cartoon backsplash is going to be, but here we are. Maybe you? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Someday we'll find a publishing home, but right now it's been really great just kind of diving into the creative journey and like the people that we've met along the way, especially. Like there's a part of me that, you know, like, oh, I have a, you know, yeah, I have a day job, we've got 2 young kids, like, boy, if I didn't have a hobby, not even a hobby, a passion project that I love, like, boy, it would be, you know, so much more time on my hands. But honestly, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Like, this is rewarding. Like, I love doing this. I would be drawing regardless. In this case, I get to do it, you know, in Clip Studio Paint on Twitch.tv. No, that's not the layer you want, Jeff. How much did I draw on there? So I like to joke that, you know, if you have a bingo card, one of the slots is always Jeff draws on the wrong layer. So we've checked that one off. We're in good shape. Were you guys same Murati. Were you guys here at the beginning of stream when I showed like 4th grade Jeff artwork? Because I will bring it up again because it's kind of hilarious if you want to see. Nope, didn't close. Okay, I'm going to learn. I'm going to go to close and fill, and I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to give it some area scaling. Not quite what I was going for. Think through it. Got my reference layer set. I've blocked off. Oh, I haven't blocked off all the way around the foreground characters. That's what's going on. That's too big of a gap. Okay, I'll bring it up just because I find it hilarious. Yep. Here, I'm gonna give you guys the art while I bring this up. Yep. Do it this way. Okay. So excited when I finally learned how to like crop windows in OBS. How does this look? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I figured it out. I got it. I'm just gonna put this right over my face. Yeah. This is like 4th grade job. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Mirati. It was really good to see you. Always good to talk to you guys. So I hope you have a good night. And yeah, maybe see you next time. Otherwise, see you next critique room. Bye. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, this is me, 4th grade Jeff's art, and as you can see, I decided that I needed 3 really spiky blades of hair just sticking out of the front of my skull. Yeah, and also you can see just the tail end of the word cool, which I drew in like the most epically 90s fashion I could possibly imagine. But yeah, it's good times. Okay, back to it. Back to it. Yeah. Okay, that was better. All right, I'm learning things. Learning ways to make my life easier so I don't have to just sit and like rue my decision for a drawing style. We'll do this slightly off-white for the cabinet. Yeah, see, you know, it doesn't have to be hyper-realistic drawing. It just has to get the point across. Like, there are so many, like, good, like, really good books out there that actually have a super simple art style. Just saying. All right, can I speed this up? All right, come on, fill bucket. Don't fail me now. Better. I do see area scaling must. All right, filled in a little bit here. I can fix that in a second. You know, I did one of these. I feel like I used a similar background recently. I'm just gonna go remind myself what I did because I feel like I'm making this harder than I need to make it. Okay. So for reference, yeah, I like kind of used our kitchen and like the magic. I did a magic bake-off themed one. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, so I did this before. I'm trying to figure out. Come on, window capture, don't fail me now. Okay, I was trying to bring it up, but the point is I am gonna lean a little bit more on that one, although I didn't paint the wall so much, but okay. I know what I want to do at least. And that's like half the battle, at the very least. Nope. Nope, not quite. Missed something. Oh. So I do still like having the flexibility of like separating out the foreground and the background. I guess you can kind of see where it's biting me a little bit here, because some of these lines it doesn't want to treat fully as reference lines because they're on a different layer. I still stand by it, but I am seeing where I could streamline things a bit more in the future. Always learning. I will add, instead of coloring this, I think what I did previously was just I did like a little bit of like a shiplap type texture on here. I always forget how useful texture can be. And how a good texture can speak just as loud as a color often. Yep. Okay, and get you. Fix that. Yeah, you're okay otherwise. All right. Panel 1 is done with flats. Okay. Alright, it's like 11:30. I'm not sure I'm going to get through everything. We've made a lot of progress. I'm going to probably push on, but what I will do is just do my shading for panel 1. So I've got one panel all the way complete. Alright. So what I like to do here, instead of just drawing the direct color of the shadows, I use some of the tricks that of the ways that you can combine layers in Clip Studio. Usually for these I've done a gray shadow, but I've seen a lot of really good stuff where people have used like a colored shadow. And you'd be amazed how even just like a little bit of shadow makes everything kind of pop. And I've learned to use it pretty sparingly for the most part for more like graphic novel type of work. Just for those things that you want to give a little bit extra volume to. It's like in the same way that a thicker line will tend to push something to the front, giving just like that little bit of shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect or completely photorealistic, but it'll really do a lot to be like, give a depth order to things. Like there, I was kind of starting to draw too much. I was getting a little too precious with it. It doesn't really have to be a lot, just enough. And suddenly things feel like they've got a bit more 3D scale to them. If you look in a lot of graphic novels, like it's really common to do this kind of light shadow. Where there's just like just enough to give you a sense of the depth, but nothing crazy. Because overall, comics, you're drawing a lot of pictures. I thought it was really cool. There was one book that came out like in the last, I want to say it was in the last year, like Prunella and the Cursed Skull Ring. And the artist, Matt Deluxe, it was cool. We saw him speak and we were asking about it. He watercolor painted every single panel. And I mean, he's not like the only one who's done this kind of thing, but it's just so impressive. Like the dedication to do that. It's a lot of panels for, you know, 150 plus page book. That is so awesome. And like, it really shows. Like, it's a beautiful book if you ever read it. Okay. I will say, if you want to do like a colored shadow, I use linear burn as the layer combination technique for when I do a gray, but multiply works a little better. So that looks a little bit different if you're curious. It's like this. That's kind of a dark purple. I would tend to use a lighter one, something like this. That's kind of interesting. It gives a little more interplay with the colors underneath. It's pretty neat. Actually, I definitely do like that one better. Get rid of you. I'm just gonna... Okay. A little bit more work, but I think it's worth it. I don't tend to do as much highlights in my comic graphic novel drawings. I used to try to do everything just like I would draw fully behind everything. I would kind of overdo it. I would do like lots and lots of heavy shading and add in lots of highlights and stuff like that. Well, the pictures looked good. It ended up feeling just really overdone. Gotcha, Stina. Thanks for stopping by. It was so nice to see you. I am probably not going to finish tonight, sadly, but thanks for coming by, and catch you next time. Bye. Okay. I do like to keep going with like the anti-aliasing still turned off. It gives, sometimes like at the pixel level you can see the lines a bit more, but it's a pretty crisp and clean look, and especially at the scale that we're at, if you zoom out, it's not going to be terribly jarring. And this is still just at like a 300 DPI. There's a lot of print resolution these days, from what I've heard, is 600 DPI for your colors, and a lot of places I've heard even are now printing line art at like at 1200 DPI. Okay, that's good. Happy with that. Do find that a little bit of shading goes a long way to give things shape. And if there's one thing that I've learned over time as a self-taught artist, it's that like that is one of the best reasons to use a bit of shadow, is just to give everything like a little bit of shape. Keep things from being too flat. That's not how I want that wave to go. There you go. There we go. Okay. So I will say, what a treat to have actually some of my critique group folks back out tonight. It's that's always welcome. And if you're watching this, and you don't happen to be one of our critique group friends, or and your creator, it's really important to find a group. Find a group of people who are doing things that are at least adjacent to what you're doing, and build that community. This group really has made such a difference, and having people to kind of cheer you on and commiserate with you, and you can celebrate their successes, and they'll help you celebrate yours. It's such a need, a necessity as a creative, because especially if you're trying to do something like get a book published or putting stuff out there, you're gonna get rejection, because art, creating things, is very subjective, and when you start really doing it, you realize how very much that's true. And having people that you can share that journey with, that support network, it's people who get it. Like, it's just such a big deal. Oh man, the Final Fantasy VII flashback music. Well, music is giving me flashbacks. Good times. Yeah. The support, it's like we were watching Ratatouille with the kids the other day, and the part at the end where like they're reading Ego's big review, and he's talking about like how relatively little critics put at stake versus the risk of putting yourself out there for critique. It really rings true, and takes on like a whole new tone as a creator. All right, this needs a little depth in this background here. Not anything crazy, just give this overhanging countertop a little shadow. Also, if you're out there and you have a creative endeavor in your heart and you want to do it and you're hesitating, do yourself a favor. Don't. Just start. It can be the smallest of things. It can be something that nobody sees but you. Like, write that essay, draw that piece of art, like that picture that you've been thinking of. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be on the back of an envelope. It can be in a folder on your computer that never gets opened again, but just do it. Get it out there, into the world, and if you feel good about it, share it. Find someone, especially if you're starting, find like a safe space first to share, and then go from there, because it will change your life. As someone who has drawn my entire life but only started the creative journey of sharing art with other people, and creating things that aren't just for myself, I wouldn't change a thing about it. It has been transformative. It has been life-changing. I can't understate, or I can't overstate how important it is. If you are sitting on something, don't go out there, do it. You don't have to do it in some grandiose style, but just do it. All right. Also, I'm missing some colors I need to fill in. Okay. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Add just a little bit of shadow here on the eyes. It's amazing how much, even in a tiny space, that tiny shadow just gives us a little bit of depth in the eyes. That can be, I find it to be kind of compelling. Okay. I do want to do something about this. Nope. You. There we go. Okay. All right. It is 11:40. It is a work night. Didn't quite make it today. But you know what? We've come a really long way. We went from only having one panel lined completely to all our lines done, one panel completely done. Let's look at the whole thing and review it, the whole piece as we've done it so far. Not bad. And if you haven't seen this before, this is the time-lapse feature of Clip Studio Paint, which is pretty awesome. As long as you remember to turn it on at the start of your painting, you'll notice that I did kind of forget for a little bit. It'll record every brush stroke that you make. Everything basically that you could use an undo on. And then it'll play it back for you. Make this movie, you can export it. It's pretty awesome. And it's especially nice to see and like, okay, look at what I did. That was all me. Good job, self. All right, we save our work. Always, always save your work. All right. That's gonna have to do it, guys. I am exhausted. I need to use the bathroom. And it's time to get ready for bed. So thank you everybody for joining me. If anybody's still out there, thanks for hanging out. Lurkers are always appreciated. I guarantee I will never call you out. And thanks to everybody who joined me. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. I super appreciate it. Thanks for being on this journey with me. I appreciate you. It is really rewarding to get to share with everybody else. And this is so therapeutic for me to just hang out and draw with you all. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a good rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I'll be back next Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we're going to finish it for real. I mean it this time. Really, really. So with that, thank you once again. Take care of yourselves and good night. Bye.